bullshit! Star Wars, The Last Jedi.
Last Jedi.
It's finally here. The most anticipated film of the year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of the year and the...
What?
Nah, just the year.
Most anticipated film for 2 years,
For 2
maybe.
years, yeah. I don't think people cared so much for Rogue One.
Definitely not. Alright. I'll start this off.
Alright.
So much to say.
Yeah.
This is a lot of notes. I'm going to start with the Rotten Tomatoes score.
Yeah.
I think that's interesting. Actually, it reflects, I think, their response to it. Critics score, when I last looked,
Yeah.
93%.
I was going to say it's 93.
Just below Empire, higher than any other Star Wars films.
Yeah.
Audience,
Yeah.
percentage,
Is
reviews,
Still.
54. I think it was 56.
now. Yeah, I was going to say it's 56.
On the 50s. That should give you an idea of how the fans are reacting to this film.
Yeah.
I'm going to start with non-spoilers. We do a little bit of non-spoilers first because you can say these bits without spoiling it. If you're, I think there's two ways of going into this film, depending on what kind of fan you are.
Yeah.
If you're a fan who just watches the film and is excited for the films, enjoys the films, but does nothing in between the films,
Yeah.
you're probably going to really like it and feel like it's quite different, and you might enjoy it for that sense. There's some bits you might not like. I'll go on what might change.
Yeah.
The other way of going into it is if you're a fan who loves theorising and looking at all these theories and watching loads of YouTube videos and like getting more into the lore, so like maybe playing the games or reading books or just watching Rebels and stuff like that, this is a disappointing one.
Yeah.
Because this again, not spoiler, it doesn't really, it ignores all the kind of extended universe stuff.
Yeah.
And kind of just, yeah.
Yeah, I would say though, I agree with you, I know what you're saying. The only thing I would say is that I don't really do a lot of like reading about it, to be honest, and I still was super disappointed, yeah.
Yeah, but I know what you mean, you can be, because the humour's different to the others, so then if you go in and you just watch the films, you might be like, this
and actually
humor's
we do talk about, we even if I don't read I read a little bit but not a lot. Even
but I pass a lot to you.
I was going to say we theorise anyway what we think could happen. So I guess we do talk about it in between. But yeah, even so, I think people that even don't read that much or watch anything extra, I think they're still going to be really disappointed.
Well, that's what I said. If you hear about any of the theories and you're excited for any theories, then you're still going to be disappointed whether you do all that stuff. But yeah, it's not even just that. Even if you don't do all the theories, I think you might be disappointed with the kind of the sense, the sense of humour to it. And that's probably it, really. I think a lot of people don't get me wrong. Like again, we said this when we came out. Our first reaction was, I really liked it. Yeah. It probably is one of the better Star Wars films we've seen. Yeah. But I can't help but be disappointed because it could have been so much more.
Do you know what I didn't really realise until I was writing all my notes out for this?
What?
That it really didn't feel like Star Wars to me.
Some bits did.
Some bits did, but a lot of it really didn't. And actually, even the bits that I was writing out, I was thinking, God, that was so cool. Like, that was an awesome design, or that particular scene was amazing. Yeah. Still didn't feel like crazy Star Wars.
I know what you mean. It's really strange how different it feels.
Yeah, it didn't have that. Like, when we went to see Force Awakens, you had that, like, it just felt like that complete mindset and that feeling you get when you watch it. But this just really didn't.
I think that's to do with the fact, though, I was thinking about this, I think because Force Awakens had such a big gap before it, and it played completely on nostalgia. Yeah. Whereas this, we'd used to it now, so now we didn't have the nostalgia factor for this as much.
It felt modern. It
felt like a Star Trek film.
Yeah.
For what Star Trek
really,
is.
It did. It felt, it just really modernised to me, and I don't know, I just didn't have that, like...
I don't mind so much that it's not playing on nostalgia, because I don't think
I don't think it needs to play on it. Just I don't know. It just was missing that.
The bits that did feel Star Warsy could also probably was because John Williams was lending a hand to him with his score. Because I think the bits that felt Star Warsy were obviously because of the old score. Had bits of the old score anyway. I don't know if I've got anything else for non-spoilers. I've already said about the humour. It just feels. Again, it just feels really forced.
Yeah, I want to talk about specific bits, so I don't want to say too much about the humour, but just as an overall thing, it just felt really...
It's like a Marvel film, some of the humour, like some, not all of Marvel films, but a lot of them where they're kind of like really easy.
Yeah.
It's not visual humour, it's kind of like pushed.
Yeah,
same lines.
It just wasn't clever humour, it was just like... I can't
No,
explain
it feels like it was
what
mocking
I mean.
Star Wars a little bit.
Yeah,
It didn't really...
did. And it felt like it was totally doing it for an audience react. I think that's what it is. It felt like it was doing it for a reaction. It didn't feel like that, like when, like specific bits I'll talk about obviously, but some things that characters did it more felt like, oh, if we have them do this, it's going to get an audience reaction rather than, oh, this character would do this, because I don't think that they
completely.
would.
And there was a massive point I want to say about that when we get to it. Yeah, the thing is with this film, you go in thinking, oh, it's going to be like the way they've like marketed it, just how it always goes with stuff. This is going to be a darker Star Wars. This is the Empire Strikes Back of this trilogy. It's going to have a sad ending and all this stuff. The thing is why it takes so long to sit with is you have that, and then it has really serious themes throughout. There are some big, but like themes in this film are quite serious. Themes to do with war. Yeah. They mention quite a lot of stuff. But then on the other side, this has got the most ridiculous humour in a Star Wars film. Yeah. You've got like this really light humour along with this kind of dark themes. It doesn't balance out very well.
And that can work in a film. Like, you can really, really laugh. Like, obviously that's what a dark comedy is. Like, you can have really serious subject matter and be hysterically laughing. But this just didn't find that balance of like, oh God. Like, because I think when you have really, really dark stuff with comedy, it has to be like, oh God. Like, oh, I don't know if I should be laughing at that kind of comedy. Whereas this was just a bit like slapstick and a bit
it doesn't even have to be that. You think about Logan. Logan's a dark film. Logan's quite dreary, but there's bits where you still laugh at it. It's like, like you look at look at Xavier and that, he's hilarious, but it's not like you wouldn't believe that's not out of his character. Even for all the other X-Men films, it's just funny what he's saying. Yeah, because it's unexpected, but you can still believe it. I think it's to do with the acting as well, but I think as well we should probably take into consideration. So we've both watched this film only once on the midnight showing with people we work with. It was a staff screening, and everyone was laughing their heads off at bits, which is absolutely fine if they found it funny. But the difference is because we're quite a community. I think people like to laugh and watch it like a party kind of thing and like a celebration. Yeah, people are more vocal, so I think it's more difficult to like get a sense of how, like, if you just went to watch this. And there was no one. It felt like we had a backing track of laughs between jokes. Whereas if you go, I went to go watch the second half of this again when I was waiting around, and without the laughs, it didn't feel sort of jokey. So I think it feels like we had a backing track of laughs, which might have changed this a little bit. But I think that might have changed up a bit as well. So we will watch it again, but we had a chance to get off our backs. I think that's all for non-spoilers. Yeah. Should we get into it? Yeah, just because there's more, like, I want to say more about those things, but using examples, so just do that. Yeah. Alright, you've been warned. You should have watched it by now anyway, surely. Yeah. Spoilers. Wow. Yeah. Alright, I'm going to start off by saying the reason why we come out, initial reaction, I said it was really good because it was exciting to watch at times. Some bits I felt went a bit slow. Yeah. I felt the first 20 minutes I was like, oh God, is this going to go? Oh no. It's like, I don't know if this is going the right way. Yeah. And then when I came out, I was like, okay, I'm disappointed. I enjoyed it, but I'm disappointed because by the end of the film, nothing had changed from the start of the film. No. And I feel like that's partly because of the toys they're selling and because if you can't go... because Rey is always a symbol of, like, the good side, and she's, like, symbol for
she's like the symbol little of girls. Hope, isn't she?
And I don't know how much of it's Rian Johnson, the director's fault, or if it's because, of, like, he has restrictions. But by the end of the film, good people are still the good people, bad people are still the bad people. Even, like, the stuff with Kylo, he sort of... it's hipped a little bit. Yeah. Even just to be like, I don't want to be on a side. No, I'll go evil again because you didn't want to join me. Yeah. Rey, I'm not sure. Maybe I need to find someone else. Now I'll go good again because they need me. It just kind of all ended where it started. And the reason why this is so disappointing because all these theories about Snoke, and we're going to more, all the theories about who Snoke is, where his parents are, everyone's really, like, a lot of people are really disappointed with the answers to those questions. So I think it's really... I think they really need to make a decision of what they want to do with this because... the thing is, I know that they're keeping it like good side, bad side, because that's classic Star Wars, and so you don't want to go too far from that because obviously initially when it first was a thing, it did so well, but it did so well because it was so different at the time to anything else, and now it's just they're keeping the same structure over and over again. And if they want it to still be something that's like this amazing thing and crazy popular, they need to like start making some changes and make it something that's different again, so that it's like that. Oh my God, did you see Star Wars? Because at the moment it's not. Because again, fans of the extended universe have seen they used it in Star Wars Clone Wars, the cartoon, which I think was a bit more poopy than Rebels. had Ahsoka, which is this Jedi who is a grey Jedi, so she isn't on her side, she sort of stands for herself. And she is such a popular character, people want her to have her own film. Because she's more interesting, because she's like, oh, I'm standing for light colours, I'm standing for dark colours, there's more to it.
Yeah. Oh?
That wasn't a fart.
That's a dinosaur.
A dinosaur. Yeah, the whole idea of not having complete total sides and having people push it, just, yeah, it would be nice to have a bit of a mix.
Yeah.
And it'd be exciting to see him. I know, like, this is the thing I keep reading is, oh, he broke your expectations. Everything that happened didn't happen how you thought it would happen.
Bollocks.
It did, in the sense that I expected someone to change side.
Yeah.
Because I expected that, it's because we did research. It's not like an expectation was like, it wasn't be obvious if someone did change side. It would have just been a good thing if that had happened.
What are you saying? Someone...
I'm saying, basically, people like, I've heard a lot of that. It was like, oh, he's subverted from your expectations by no one changing side, Rian Johnson with the film.
Oh, sorry.
Because no one changes side because they just kill Snoke off and it's all surprising.
Yeah.
But they're not good surprises because it's not like, oh, I didn't expect Snoke to die.
No, I didn't. But can we just talk about that then, now that we're on it already?
Yeah.
The hell?
I don't mind him dying.
No, I don't mind him dying, but he's just... The way that it happened, he's this all-powerful, all-seeing, all-knowing, but he couldn't see that twitching next to it. Just so ridiculous.
Carrying on from that as well as into the
stupid.
script. Yeah. We can go more into Snoke if you want. I've literally just written a list of characters to go through. Yeah. But saying about that bit, there is quite a few plot holes in this and quite a few bits that just sort of work for the script as opposed to making sense. And that's the thing with the script. I think there's a lot of bits where it's like you just said with that, he's literally saying to him,
yeah,
I can read, I can hear, I can see in his head, which I believe he can.
Yeah.
Because I'm sorry, Andy Serkis told people before this film he's more powerful than the Emperor and Darth Vader, and they bigged him up massively.
Yeah.
If he's that powerful, even if you weren't that powerful, you'd probably hear it turning next to you because you hear it on the screen when it moves. It's like it's just silly that bit.
Absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, and then there's quite a few bits like with the. Well, there's the bits with the ship where like they have to jump into hyperspeed or light speed to get away from the ship, and then basically they keep firing at the ship, at the rebel ship, or should I say the resistance ship, because changing names changes everything.
Yeah.
They keep firing at it and hitting its shield and just shooting one at a time while it's running away. Kylo and other TIE fighters got past those shields somehow.
Yeah.
And had a chance to take out the ship because they took out part of it.
Yeah.
Why didn't they just do that again? Why are you just dragging it out?
It totally felt like that thing, like, I'm going to shoot you. Wait, just let me say this, and then I'm definitely going to shoot you, and just give it time for someone to come rescue you. Like, it felt like that kind of thing.
Which is annoying, because I love the whole, like, running away for the whole film. I like that, but it should have made more sense than just...
Yeah.
And why... Well, I forgot her name, Waldo, I think it is. Is it Waldo?
Yeah.
I think it's Waldo.
No.
No, Holdo.
So it wasn't Waldo.
Waldo?
Yeah.
Holdo, pink-haired lady.
Yeah.
Why don't you tell Poe her plan? Why was she trying to keep it from Poe? What was the point of that? It's just to add tension.
Yeah.
Anyway, we're diverting so much here. I try to keep on the structure because there's so much to say here. But I put about the narrative first and about, well, I liked, with the narrative, like I was just saying, I like the tactical elements. I liked the bombing run at the start. I know it's very typical Star Wars. One ship gets there at the end and bombs it. But it's just quite... all great, other than her showing her necklace about 5 times and making that a really obvious thing. Yeah. But I loved that bombing run at the start. I maybe thought it was a bit too long with Poe and his X-Wing watching him. And I did not like that opening joke about, like, where with General Hux, I'll go more into that, but when he's like saying, I can't hear you, are you receiving this?
Yeah.
And he's winding him up. It was like the joke at the start of Force Awakens. I didn't like that one at the start of Force Awakens. I don't like this one at the start of Last Jedi.
What at the start of Force Awakens didn't you like?
When Kylo puts him on his knees, he's like, so who talks first? Did I talk first? You talk first?
Oh, yeah.
I didn't really like that joke, because it felt like a Marvel joke.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But you like that one, which is fine.
I like that one.
But this one...
But that one was way too far, yeah.
But this one, you mean this one went way too far?
Yeah, because
it went on too much longer.
The reason I didn't mind that first one is because it felt like they were using it as like this is the kind of character this guy is.
Yeah.
And I didn't mind that so much because it was funny, and also I got something from it, like, oh, okay, I understand a little bit more what he's like, but I already know these characters, and it felt completely out of place for a start that they would do that, and it just I didn't get anything from it.
Yeah. And that humour would be fine if that's what you're going for this whole film. If you're trying to make a film like Thor Ragnarok, be fine. But you're not. You're making a film that goes to serious side.
That felt like a Thor joke. That felt like a Thor joke. Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
The tactical stuff. So I mean, all the kind of stuff like all the battle scenes were brilliant. Like I love the way they planned out the stuff with the little scrap things going to what I don't like. We can talk about this now. So the little scrap things are in at the end for the final scene when they're on the planet. I can't remember what the planet's called. And they're going across this. They're gliding across the sand. The bit that's on the poster in the trailer. That looks amazing. It's such an awesome idea.
It's beautiful.
The ships are great. The fight looks like it's gonna be awesome. Don't understand they're planning those things though.
No, I don't.
And
also, just really quickly before I forget, there were so many shots of people's feet, like disturbing the sand. Because it was like grey and then it was red underneath. It just there was like
feet,
3 to 4. I'm pretty sure. Maybe it wasn't. But it felt like a lot of shots where it's someone's foot like disturbing the sand. I was like, yeah, I know. I've seen it. It's fine. Like carry on. It felt
especially when Luke and Kylo are fighting. I know what you mean because they keep sliding on it and it shows them like, leaving red.
Yeah.
We don't understand the plan there because the plan is to take out the what was it called? It's got such a funny name. The battering ram cannon.
Yeah.
It's just hilarious.
It's like what they were. It's like what they were just calling it before they thought of a name for it, and then they like forgot to come up with with a name, and then they just said it anyway.
And like I said about crystal critters as well. I think that's what he's just calling it a joke. I don't think crystal critters. I don't think that's what he's actually.
No, I know.
But
no, it's just the way he says it. He's like, oh, the crystal critters. He's
I
not
don't
like,
think
oh,
of that
those
on the
crystal
spot.
critters. Yeah, exactly. It didn't feel like a
Besides, the battering ram cannon.
Yeah.
With that, so the plan was to drive towards it,
and
then the idea was to ram it back or to take it out by driving into it because they don't have any guns, and if they do, they should have been using them because they were being attacked by TIE fighters.
Idiots because
So they go out there.
Yeah.
They tell Finn before he goes to do a suicide run. Oh, that's a suicide run. But what they're doing is a suicide run because fucking TIE fighters come down on them, and they're just riding across the sand. Yeah. Finn's like, "Oh, I've made it." And it's like, oh, it's too late, the gun's about to fire. If you run into it now, you'll die. Surely he'll die if he runs into the gun before it goes off.
The speed that they're going at, if they hit
and how crashy those things are, Because he doesn't hit it. And then Rose, and then obviously the bit where Rose comes in and hits him. Yeah. I like that, but their reactions to what actually happened is not how I... If you drove into a car...
Again, they do make it clearer what the plan was, but it
just... I watched that whole bit again. I didn't really... I missed it again, but I didn't pick up. I did have a baby crying in the second time I watched that half.
Amazing.
Didn't bother taking him out of the screen.
Just leave the baby in there.
I think what else there is with the narrative stuff. I mean, the fights did feel more impactful. I don't know why. I think it's just the way they did them. Just looked great. We said about where the characters already ended up. That's what I was going to say with the narrative, is when we come out, the first time I kept saying, like, people were like, oh, it was... Well, you start the film with everyone on their sides, you end the film with everyone on the same sides. Yeah. Nothing has changed. No. Rey was training, but then what I don't get about her training, she was great in the last film in terms she was incredibly powerful. Yeah. But at the end of it, she was incredibly powerful. The training, I don't know why she needed training on Luke's island.
No.
And why she keeps saying about training, because then she went to fight back-to-back with Kylo and kicked ass before she had proper training. She didn't have any training from Luke, really. And then at the end she was crazy powerful, like she was in Force Awakens.
Yeah.
That didn't
but
really
she's
change.
taking her hair down now, though, so they could sell new toys of her with her hair down now. Honestly, that felt like the only change for her. Like, genuinely, it really did.
And her outfit, but her outfit's the one from the end of the last film.
Yeah, but and her outfit, like, who cares? It's like a beige concoction of layers and bandages. Like, it's whatever. I'm not really bothered about that. It's just literally, it just felt so transparent. And also, like, a friend of ours that is particularly mad about Star Wars made a really good point. Why would I go and watch 9 now? Like, what happened at the end of this where you're like, oh my god, I cannot wait for 9.
Yeah. This felt like this is saying that's what I read yesterday, was this felt like the last film in a trilogy.
Yeah.
So what the fuck have you set up for the last one? Because you've lost your main bad guy, which I don't think is a terribly great thing. If you do it in a surprising way, that'd be great. If you kill him off, it'd be surprising. But I don't want Kylo to be the main bad guy.
No. And if they were going to do that for the last one, that's fine. But they needed to make so much more of Snoke in this one. I think I'm kind of upset that they didn't what's the word? They didn't utilize him really, because I felt like, oh, okay, here's he's gone.
Yeah.
And it feels like in all the marketing and stuff, and in that, well, in all of the trailers, really, I was like, oh my god, he's gonna, but
sort of golden robes and shoes, but
yeah, and he looks amazing now as well. And I was like, oh,
he looks better than he did in episode 7.
Yeah, and now
he's gone. And then they make a joke of that as well, with him with his tongue out on the floor and then falls off the chair. I was like, fucking...
Oh, I know.
You can't, it doesn't work.
No.
I'm going to go jokey, but the thing is, and this is the interesting thing now, JJ did the first one, set all of these ideas up, the Knights of Ren, Snoke, Rey's parents. Rian Johnson's coming to do the second one. Yeah. Crush Rey's parents. Yeah. Snoke is gone, crush that. Didn't use the Knights of Ren. Now, he's cut off all the ties that JJ Abrams made. JJ Abrams is coming back to do the last episode. Yeah. Is he going to try and open this back up and then rub over what Rian Johnson's done?
I don't know.
Because then it's going to be a massive mess of films. Because now I bet he's not fucking happy. He's completely cut off all the lines that he made.
Yeah, I forgot. Sorry, I forgot that he fell off the chair, and that was so bad.
Yeah.
That was so...
The focus on it as well, yeah. People didn't laugh when it showed his tongue out in the second screen as well, so it wasn't as bad. It just looked like it was just showing him dead.
Yeah.
It would have been done if he had a bit of blood. Again, they can't. That's the problem. Yeah. It's the franchise cap for you when you're being Disney. Before we go on to characters, I'm just going to put out the script about... Start with it. I sound like Del Toro in the film then. Clunky repeated lines. The first thing was out with the script. It is so strange when there's a line at the end that I thought I mistook or misheard.
But you didn't.
No, it was.
What was it?
He's like, when Kylo wakes up after him and Rey split the lightsaber and they both collapse on the floor after killing Snoke. General Hux finds him, pretends to shoot. Well, goes to shoot him, then he wakes up, so he stops. Then Hux is kind of being all arsey with him, and he says to him, "The supreme leader is dead." Then he says another line, I can't remember what it is, and then Kylo says back to him, "The supreme leader is dead," and then strangles him. They both keep saying the supreme leader is dead, but it doesn't work. It sounds like you can use repeated lines if you change the way you express them, or it has a purpose. But it just sounded really odd. I think they say it 3 times. Or I think Kylo says the supreme leader is dead, chokes him, and he says supreme leader's dead. Long live the supreme leader. It's really weird.
I need to watch it again. I can't remember it that clearly.
They repeat the line.
If I'm being honest.
Yeah. And there's a line from Luke as well at the very end. I didn't realise the first time that I picked up the second time, which is stupid. Yeah. Which is when he's speaking to Leia at the very end of the film. Yeah. He says, "I can't." He's basically talking about Kylo and says, "I can't save him." And then she says, "No," and she's like, "No." And she's like, "My son's gone." He went, "No one's ever really gone." Yeah. It doesn't make any sense, really, does it? They can, and it kind of does, but it doesn't really work. Yeah. I can't save him. No one's ever already gone, though. But you're going against what you're saying. Yeah. And I'll get to the message. I'm going to finish this review with the message of this film and how confusing it is. Yeah. Because it is crazy what, the message of it. So you've got those lines, there's so many in this film. And the other problem with the lines is they all say their fucking full names, which is really annoying and sounds really odd. Yeah. Especially the really cringy line of, do you know what I'm talking about? That races. Cringy ass line where she's like, are you the one that made him Kylo Ren? Or something like that to Luke. It was like, stop saying their full fucking names. Yeah. And say Ben, because you know him as, I know he's now Kylo Ren because he's changed sides, but his name was Ben.
Yeah, but you know him as Ben, yeah.
So call him Ben. Call him, if you called him Ben for the film, I'd still call him Kylo Ren. Yeah. But Ben sounds like a lot more sort of less jankety in the film than to call that. They all say their full names. It just sounds really odd. Yeah.
And that is always the problem with an English accent as well. A well-spoken English accent, it is gonna, it is always gonna sound really clunky next to theirs because their voices just naturally sound kind of smooth. Whereas I say da 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 da, she's really
Just the way they all say each other's names is it's just annoying. Finn doesn't do it as much. I think Finn uses single names a lot more. But the others Kylo Ren. Yeah. I think that's the main one anyway, but they all sort of say...
Are you going to go through each character? Because every time I say something, I think, I'm going to say that, but I'm trying to wait.
Yeah, I'm going for all the characters. Don't worry, I'm going for all the characters.
Okay.
Alright, I was just doing the script stuff. No, because there's so much. Saying that, we already said it a bit, is the jokes felt like a mockery. And the bit I was talking about, you said about being out of character. Yeah. Completely out of character. The film starts where it ended off with Force Awakens. Yeah. And this is a summary for what this film means compared to Force Awakens.
Yeah.
It's this lightsaber hand, handing over the lightsaber.
Yeah.
This is such a big moment in Force Awakens to end on. Yeah. For this film to then go, Luke takes it and goes, "What? Over my shoulder."
Yeah.
And it just makes such a joke out of it. It's like, if, like you said, if you'd thrown it to, like what you were saying as soon as we come out, if you thrown it to the side, thrown it forward, or just dropped it, or did something else a bit more subtle.
Do you know what I just wish? I just wish he hadn't taken it. She flat out refused, said, "I'm not taking it," or like backed away from it, or something. It would have, it would have been better. Oh my god, what is wrong with us? It would have been better if he just like stared at it, looked at her, and just walked past her. That would have been like something. Just don't take it then. And I was really excited because I really like, obviously that bit's been so iconic since that film came out, like the camera circling them on the island, her holding it out, and I was so glad that it started with that again. I was like, oh, actually, I'm really glad that they've just picked it straight back up, because sometimes I think, oh no, it should have gone on a little bit, but I was really glad they picked it up there, and then that happened. I was just like,
it's really obvious, and I whispered to you as soon as before I went, he's gonna fucking throw that. I don't know if I was to do, but I sit down and I was like, he's gonna fucking throw that, and then I was like, oh, for fuck's sake. I didn't like that.
And would you do that, really? Is that his character at all? Not at all. Not at all. I just can't see it. And it continued to not be. It's not that they've changed his character now and he's like... I mean, in a way, I mean, I guess they have, he's a bit more like flippant, he's a bit more like... I don't know, but not that much. Not that much.
Yeah.
It was,
It felt like a mockery. And not just that, and saying about the like, stuff that makes it feel like a complete piss take of Star Wars. There's General Hux in this.
Yeah.
He's alright, like the acting's fine.
He's great.
The first one, he's a bit over the top with the screaming. In Force Awakens, he's a bit much.
Do you know what? I thought that, and then when we watched it again recently, because I have always thought that, I've always thought, calm it, just a little bit, like not a lot, but just a bit, like it's a bit much. But actually, last time we watched it, I thought, actually, I really like that.
Fair enough. It works. It's fine if you can. You can like sort of be like, okay, that works, fine. But in this film, he's a complete joke. Every time he's in the screen, he's being the piss taken out of him. He's made to be out like a little rat, but he's not. He's this head guy of the whole first order now.
Right.
Essentially,
he feels like a little Weasley, like anyone could take him thing, and it's not. That's not his.
No. And they've changed over the years because that's what they used to feel like. The Imperial, like the officers, like the Grand Admiral stuff in the old films, kind of did feel quite Weasley because they were always getting force choked by Vader. Yeah. But then in Rebels and all the other stuff I've watched recently, they're not. They're like completely like this like Admiral Thrawn.
Well, and if you see him in Force Awakens, like that bit where he is
screaming, it's completely like Nazi.
And actually, and that's why before I thought, oh, that's really over the top. But this time it just felt like he had gone like mad with power, and I just kind of felt like actually I can totally see someone getting like that and just being like almost on the brink of like flipping out, and that's why he shouts so much. But they just completely, that's gone. Just changed that completely.
Changed him, All right, characters then.
Yeah.
All the characters. We'll start with then Rey. So we said a bit about her already.
Yeah.
I mean, she's fine in this. She's not like a problem. I'm just still not sure about Daisy Ridley entirely. I think it's the accent.
I don't know. I
don't have much to say for it other than what we've already said, which is like it makes no sense how she starts off being like, "Can you train me?" and then she's great again, and she ends being crazy good. I liked all the stuff with her and Luke on the island. I like the fact that he refused to train her. That stuff was interesting. I didn't want her to ever train him. That was a nice twist because in the trailers you make it out like he's going to train her.
Yeah.
But he's kind of like, no. He said he does, but then he doesn't. Really, the only bit he really does with her is sit her down, say, think of the Force.
He does like a couple of days, doesn't he? He says. Like,
is there any other better points? He says about what? Sorry.
He says like at dawn or whatever. Like we start at dawn or something. Or we start.
Yeah, and then they go up there, but all he does is she. I can't remember what the word is. She sits on the rock anyway, and that's the only bit of training you see, isn't it? He doesn't train with the lightsaber. I think she trains a little bit by herself.
Yeah.
Which is funny.
I kind of thought you were meant to think that. Just that.
Maybe
that he has.
Yeah.
Because he does say. What does he say, like 2 days or 3 days? I really need to watch this again. But, I think what worked for her more in Force Awakens is that she was really frightened of it. Because she's not as scared now.
I'm glad they brought something up about her in Force Awakens they brought up in this film, but then it didn't go anywhere, which was in Force Awakens at the very end, she looks like she's turning dark. When she's fighting Kylo at the end of Force Awakens in the forest, she looks like she's getting angry. And there's bits where she looks like and it's that kind of shot with the way that's really cool. Like with Star Wars myth, of like the way she holds the lightsaber at the end, you kind of think she looks like she's holding it like a Sith. And then Kylo brings up an instance and says, "Oh, I've seen that look in your eye."
Yeah.
Like the way, and they do like this whole idea about her tempted to the dark side. They go about it quite a bit.
Yeah.
That's the end of the thread that doesn't go anywhere, which is a shame because it's really interesting. Because why would she just typically go to the good side? She's just been stuck on a desert, being treated like shit her whole life, and being dumped by her parents. That should make her angry, and make her not want to be on any side.
Yeah, I think it really is a shame actually, because she's probably the one that if they were gonna, obviously apart from Kylo, if someone was going to switch, she'd obviously be the most interesting one, and now she's just a kind of nothing character.
I think the problem is...
she's made out to be like the main character.
Yeah.
And...
I think the problem is with it, is they want her to stay on the good side, because of restrictions, and probably not because of Rian Johnson, because of, like,
Is
Disney.
it Rian or Ryan? Because someone said the other day, it's Ryan, it's the spell
it's Rian
weird.
Johnson. I don't know, it doesn't matter. That's how
Anyway.
I think the problem is she's the female lead, and they want a female lead, and they want the good side to be leading the films, because it's for kids as well, so they're going to want the good side. So if you change to the dark side, you have no female lead for the Resistance, because you don't have Leia anymore. I think that's the problem now, is they've gone, fuck, we need someone leading this film, we want them to be female, because of the idea of it sort of, especially because of Wonder Woman now, because this whole idea of having like a female, like strong female lead, they're going to want to keep her there.
Yeah.
Which is what sucks with this, because you're letting other things break down the narrative because you have to have these restrictions, but I think that's probably why she won't change side. Because for kids it's just like Kylo's evil and Rey's good, and it will always stay like that, and that's the problem with this film.
Even actually, it's really funny. The other day when I was watching everyone come in, there were so many children with Kylo Ren t-shirts and stuff. I just find it quite interesting. So I was like, oh, I didn't really see many Rey things at all.
No, I think that's the problem though. If Rey was bad in the last film, you wouldn't see so many little girls dressed in Rey costumes.
No, I know. I'm just saying it was just interesting that there weren't many Rey t-shirts or anything.
No,
it was all because I think
because same with Vader,
he looks
isn't it?
more Star Wars. I was going to say he looks more iconic.
You always see Darth Maul stuff everywhere. It's the most like all kind of Star Wars stuff.
Yeah.
I think, I'd be happy with these films being like Disney style, like really light-hearted kind of stuff. I reckon then if you're doing that, for the sake of adults, you should make the in-between films darker and more for adults. So like Rogue One should have been a 15
in a
would
way,
have been great.
Yeah, in a way it was. I mean, they all died.
Yeah, I know, but like you didn't really see it. It's the same with Rebels. I
know.
So we're gonna go.
Bless you. Bless you.
Kylo.
Yeah.
Great performance again.
Very great. Very great.
Probably the best.
I would say great.
Best
very good. Yeah.
At acting in there. Probably the best actor in there now. I'd say. You've got some old classic actors in there, but I mean in a lead role.
Yeah. He's
Probably
wonderful. People keep saying to me, "Oh, he's really weird though. He says stuff weird." I think that's just Adam Driver.
Didn't someone said that? Who said that? It was someone from work.
Someone said that the other day, but somebody had already said it, and I'm pretty sure somebody has said it since, that he says stuff weird, or like he sounds like clunky or whatever. They didn't use the word clunky, but they said it like a bit robotic.
Even without that mask, he sounds like Danny from talks a little bit.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, so
I think it's great.
Cool.
Because it makes me feel like he's like constantly considering what he's saying. It makes it sound like he doesn't quite know what he's.
Yeah, his voice also changes. He goes like to like whoa, 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 whoa.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's awesome.
I think they made him better in this one than the last one as well, because in the last one people were like, oh, he's a moany little bitch, he's a little teenager moany bitch, and I was like, he's not really. But in this one, even less of a thing, he kind of takes aside and he's like, no, I'm not being like that.
And
until the end, when he goes to, Caleb, I'm so angry again.
Yeah.
I don't want that.
No.
Because he No, but can you imagine if he was completely like, if he was like Snoke but without the weird evil voice and stuff, and he was just like really sort of like that. His best scene is when he's talking to Rey after they've killed Snoke, and it's because he's completely relaxed and like, well, just do this with me.
Yeah.
If he was like that the whole time, if he was like that after, because Luke makes a mockery of him, and I don't like it because I really like Kylo. Because if I'm honest, I'm quite on Kylo's side in this film.
Yeah, I know. So because
this is the thing. Because not the first. I don't care about the first order and stuff. But the thing with Kylo is he killed Snoke to save Rey.
Yeah.
I think Rey's a bit of a twat about this. This is the hard thing. again because of the script. So he kills Snoke, says to Rey, "Join me. We don't have to be involved." But he also pretty much says, "We can lead the galaxy together."
Yeah.
But then what on is it? Because I don't agree with him trying to lead the galaxy, the two of them. But I like the idea of him going, "Let's just fucking get out of here."
Yeah,
don't
but
want to
he
be
was. I
involved
don't
in
think he was
sides.
saying that though, was he? He was saying.
Join.
Yeah.
My side.
Basically, saying join the dark.
The stuff with them is that is the thing with this film. The most interesting stuff is Rey, Luke, and Kylo, and the relationships between them, and all the stuff that's happened. That's where the twists lie a little bit, as opposed to not turning sides, but where like the interesting conflict happens.
Yeah.
Whereas Finn and Rose's story and all that stuff can peel off. We'll get to them.
Yeah.
Anything else for Kylo?
Yeah. Well, it's Tim and Rey really, but that bit is so good, but it annoyed me in a way because even though it was one of, if not my favourite bit, it annoyed me a bit because it didn't feel like there was much conflict in Rey at all. She just sort of went no, like can't she just do you know what I mean?
Even though
that was
she has no love for the Resistance,
exactly.
really. Like, she has a bit, but she wasn't with her much because she fucked off at the end of Force Awakens.
Yeah, and it just felt like that was the point, the only point really where they could have gone, right, now this is the time where we can have her, you know, a bit undecided and a bit at war with herself. But
would
they
be
just
better.
didn't do it.
Although I say that, he was asking him to let him die because they were getting shot and she was like, we need to go and save him. He was like, no, just let him die. Which is great, but then
I know, but it would have been nice if you just had even a moment of her like, oh God, no, what am I doing, or something, because you would have gone, oh my God,
because she
what
was
was
tempted by the dark side stuff before, so it would have been nice. Because on the island, she was like, oh, I got pulled into it.
Because honestly, just that one moment, like 3 seconds of her looking like she might let them all die.
Yeah.
That would have made me go, oh my God, what's going to happen in the next one?
Yeah.
Is it finally going to happen? Is she going to completely turn?
Yeah.
But because there wasn't anything. You didn't need much, but it just didn't.
No, I completely agree, actually. You're spot on. That would have been more interesting to go to the last one. And if it showed her at the very end of this film, after that had happened in that scene, if you showed at the very end of this film being like, or looking a bit guilty or something, you'd be like, oh.
Yeah.
But no.
Put that in, instead of her smiling and flirting with Poe, just have her looking a bit unsure.
Yeah.
Anyway, but I thought, no, just that little bit would have been,
Yeah. Okay, on to the next characters. I've put Finn and Rose together.
Might as well.
Because
they are equally as dull.
There's nothing wrong with them in this film in terms of the acting or anything like that, but they're not given enough to do, and Finn's kind of parred off as a side character, complete side character.
Yeah.
He's fine, I like him in this. I think I liked him in the first one. I think he's a good character, but he's nothing in this. He's nothing, like you said. He's not got much to do.
No.
It's just,
I felt like you could have taken both of them out and all of their stuff out, and I wouldn't have even noticed.
Yeah,
I wouldn't have been fussed. And also, I feel like we've just it's come too far now to be devoting that much time to a new character. Like we've got so many already. I would rather concentrate on them, like further their stories. Like the stuff with Poe, he has a bit more of a character now, and they're developing him, and that's working, and I really like that. But I don't understand why you wouldn't take the time that you have and develop the other characters, or just have Finn on his own. I don't know, but I just felt
I think it's more what happens with her. I think it'd be fun if they did something interesting, but the thing is, their story is essentially, we need to take their shield. Is it they need to take the shield down? They need to take the shield down, so we need to they need to take out the tracking on Snoke's ship. They need to take the tracking out, because once they take the tracking out, then they can get away. Yeah, they can get away without noticing, or long enough before they realise if they turn the trackers off. I'm pretty sure.
I don't think they're interesting enough characters, and I hate that they're trying to make them like a couple. I felt.
Well, they're doing it on this. We said about Rey and Poe for like they're
not in a horrible way, but
they've
got zero chemistry. I couldn't give a crap whether they were together or not. Like, just
don't want the main characters together. They don't need to be like in relationships unless they like feel like proper relationships, but they don't. It was really weird that. And talking about that's why it was weird. She kissed him. What she did was he went to sacrifice himself to save the Resistance a little bit, like help him, and she like fucking T-bones him in her little vehicle, and almost kills them both.
Yeah.
And like I like that little twist. Like, oh shit, she just did that. I like that idea because it's more surprising than him killing himself. Yeah. But you'd be like, what the fuck are you doing? Like, why have you done that? And maybe be a bit angry. Then like you'd sort of run out of breath and go, oh fuck, it's fine. Like just like. But it wasn't. It was like, what do you do? It's like, it's about what we're fighting to save, not what we're fighting. Like what we're fighting, like the evils we're fighting.
It felt so like hemmed in. The kiss as well. It's just like, where did that even come from? There's been no, not like to me anyway. There's been no indication of them like liking each other or
any quiet scene they had together in the film was with the animals and about the animals. It wasn't about them two.
That did not feel like Star Wars to me.
It did,
not even a bit.
The chasing did feel Star Wars. It was like prequel Star Wars.
Yeah.
And I felt like Jar Jar was going to ride up next to him and be like,
that is,
It's a Jar Jar!
That's spot on. Oh, that was good. That's spot on, actually. Yeah, I don't know, I just, that whole bit,
the animals look great. Those animals, anyway, they look fine, but they're chasing. Yeah.
That's the thing with this film, like, most of it all looks gorgeous. But they were losing me there.
Yeah. I like the settings. I like the casino looked really cool. Except for this is what again, it really bugs me. This is what makes it cheap. Casino Planet. They went to the casino. It was not the size of a planet. Why do they need a whole planet? Like I hate this with planets. I know like you can have a whole planet of ice like Hoth and stuff like that. And I always think it's quite funny in sci-fi how you have whole planets of one environment.
Yeah.
But then that does happen depending on how far it's from the sun. Earth's quite different like that.
Yeah.
But a whole planet for casinos makes me laugh. I know it's a big galaxy. But like, I just hate this whole idea that every planet is like... If it's a casino from planets, do they all live off-world?
It feels like Rick and Morty. Like, there's a pizza planet, and there's a casino planet, and there's a car planet, and there's... Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
it feels like... Yeah.
It looked lovely.
It did, yeah.
But again,
it looked beautiful. It really did, yeah.
Although, on the other hand, it looked really CGI. Like, a lot of the creatures in that place looked CGI. They didn't look like puppets, which they made a whole point of the Force Awakens going back to practical effects.
Yeah.
Not fucking CGI, and then I've jumped back again. And there wasn't any, like... memorable music playing like a cantina band kind of stuff was there, which would have been funny.
No.
So that's Finn and Rose. Yeah, they kind of and again what annoys me, there's no attention to the fact that Finn had his fucking back sliced open.
Yeah.
He's fine after he's been in that tank thing. Again, another bit. He's just like JJ set up and he's just gone.
I would have actually take out Rose and then have Finn sort of recovering through this film.
Yeah.
And sort of just observing, seeing what's going on, advising. I think that would have been a more interesting route for him.
Because their plot was to go find a master hacker to go help the ship, and that whole plot was just for that. And it wasn't needed because they failed.
Have you got Javier Bardem on your list?
Huh?
Have you got him on your list?
It's not by Javier Bardem.
It's
Del Toro.
Every time.
Del Toro.
Every
time.
They
do look quite similar.
Literally every time. Anyway,
I do indeed.
Have you got him on your list?
I've got all the side characters in like a list.
I haven't got Javier Bardem on there. He went in it. I haven't even written Javier Bardem. Amazing. Anyway.
Their plan fails.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, which is quite nice because it's like surprising that it fails. But then that all those scenes for him was kind of just trying to like keep his way into the kids, into the orphan boys and girls. But you didn't need to. You could just show that in without that middle bit, and it would have been fine. To be honest, I didn't like it, but it would have been fine. Should we move on?
Just chop it out. Yeah.
Poe.
Javier. Oh.
Yeah, with Poe.
Yeah.
I actually did like him a lot more in this than I did in the first one. He was a lot better. He didn't feel as cheesy. He didn't feel as gimmicky. He is this kind of like shoot first before thinking kind of guy.
Too cheesy in the first one. Maybe I'm wrong. Anyway.
I think I did a little bit just because that first line, but then I felt like he's that kind of cheeky smuggler kind of character. Whereas in this, he actually put in a bit more initiative and was like, "Look, we need to do this." He was really like.
I think he's just a lot more invested in this one, isn't he?
And they address that he's a hot shot. Like they keep saying, "All right, hot shot," and keep taking the piss out of him.
Yeah.
And you see a lot more of him, and he makes his own decision, and this is what I like. This is conflict. This is what's good in films, and it's nice to see in like a franchise film. There is conflict. He doesn't agree with what he's been told to do, and he goes against it, and he gets in shit for it. And again, but then another thing with that. Oh, quickly, we need everything to be all right between the Resistance again. Let's just make them forgive each other, even though you wouldn't, because he completely fucked you over.
Yeah.
He was a lot better in this one. I liked his storyline on that ship. It was interesting. It fit with the plot because they were trying to get away from Snoke. It made sense to have that all happen. And there's not really much.
Felt like he really cared too. Like I didn't see that too much from anyone else.
No.
Really.
I'm glad that he had his own plan. It's interesting.
Yeah.
With it all. Anything else to say for him?
No, I don't think so.
No. On to Luke then.
Yeah.
Great performance. To be fair, I did really like him. I have to agree with that. Everyone's saying that it was a good performance from him. It was really nice. It felt like Han. Then also, it felt like he was doing it because he cared, even though in person, in like interviews, he seems like he couldn't give a fuck. But in the film he seemed like he actually did care.
Although I've seen interviews with him where he seems like really excited about it and like seems so happy to be there.
So much like it is where it's just him taking the piss out of it or just being really grumpy. But no,
it is a really good performance. It is a really good performance. I don't agree with everyone's like, oh my god. Every time I'm like, oh yeah, I was a little bit disappointed. People are like, yeah, I was disappointed. Oh, but Mark Hamill, oh my god, he wasn't that good. No. Like he was okay. He was good. He was really good. Yeah. He wasn't that good though. No. I don't like everyone's kicking off about it, and I don't.
Yeah,
I don't know about that.
No.
Because I was thinking as well, if nobody, because obviously we saw it at midnight, nobody had said at that point really, well, apart from like, things we read, nobody had said yet, oh my god, he's so amazing in it. So now I feel like, now that people are seeing it, they're now also reading stuff about it and they're going, oh yeah, he was amazing. And I don't know, yeah, he was good, but...
He was good, but he wasn't like a standout of the film.
I don't think he stood out over Adam Driver, for example.
No. But it was lovely with Yoda. That was great.
That
had fun, and the humour in that bit was quite funny. Like when he says about the books, he went, "They're not paid." Like everyone's saying that line, but it's page turners they are not, and he's like really, he's like, "Oh, no,
perfect." That's the kind of that was great humour, and that's a good time to put it in. And when you're bringing back an old character that everyone's a little bit like, oh, he's a little bit tongue in cheek anyway because he is a little green man. Like he's fine to laugh at. Like that's a good time to do it. But no.
That was really nice, that bit.
Yeah, it was. I know.
Interesting.
Because when he came out, I was like, oh my god, it was lovely. It was like seeing an old friend. Yeah, and I just didn't know. I had no idea.
Unless you watched this morning.
Unless you watched this morning. Ollie, weren't be idiot.
Interesting. Just we were on that. I didn't see something in this film that I saw something say online that they spotted. The books, the Last Jedi books, not I just said the film, the books, the Jedi like scrolls and stuff that he had in that tree that got burnt down. Rey had taken them before it got burnt down. I didn't realise that.
Yeah, because I think you saw them again, didn't you?
They were on the ship.
Yeah.
But I don't remember seeing them on the ship. I thought it was in the background. But yeah, so they've still got them. So I reckon they're going to be a thing in episode 9. Yeah. Unless Julie's like, fuck you, man, I'm going to make my own script and burn all your stuff.
Just the scene at the start of Rey just dropping them one by one in the fire.
The scream. Yeah.
Chucking them behind her shoulder into a fire. Ha ha. Yeah.
I bet Luke did enjoy throwing the lightsaber over his shoulder. I was like, for fuck's sake.
Are you kidding?
I can only reckon Mark Hamill like that.
Nah.
The interesting why he was so good with Yoda as well, what was nice, is that the person doing Yoda's voice is someone who's really good at an impression, obviously, because that wasn't the original Yoda, because obviously he's dead now, but like it was someone else doing it. Yeah, which was quite nice to do. They worked really well together on screen.
Yeah. No, I love that whole bit. I love that. And it really actually, honestly, I'm not kidding, that bit and the titles, and not just because they're the bits that are from old films, obviously, not just because of that, but it felt like they captured the essence of Star Wars again. Yeah. I don't know what it is, honestly. This one just really didn't.
It's now the nostalgia parts, which is fine. Like you can have those bits.
But it's not. But But I don't think that's what it was. I don't know. Or maybe it is. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Other bits of Luke. Like I said, I enjoyed him with Rey. I enjoyed like he was kind of a bit like, no, I'm not fucking doing this. And he saw someone like all the bits he says in the trailer. It's all great. He delivers it well, and like the whole idea of his arc is interesting. Besides his send-off, I wasn't really sure of, because he would have been a lot more impactful if he wasn't doing like a mind trick and pretending he was there, and if he was actually there and sacrificed himself.
Yeah.
And they made it work in a way where he sacrificed himself and they got away because of it. But they would have worked if they'd just done that and he was there and he sacrificed himself and they got away. Because the lightsaber fight you saw wasn't really a lightsaber fight, because they didn't clash because he could be touched. He kept dodging Kylo, which is okay for terms of like continuity. Thank God they did that instead of him hitting lightsabers, because it was just an image. So he kept dodging him, because obviously the minute he hit him, it went through him and it wasn't anything.
Yeah.
And he died because he was putting so much power into doing that.
Yeah.
But it'd just be nicer if he was there, I think.
Yeah.
Interesting thing with that as well.
I don't know about that. I'm not sure. I can't decide whether I would have rather if he was there or not. I was a little bit confused. And I was like, Is he gone? Is he gone? He's gone. Okay, he's dead. Alright. I wasn't sure.
Yeah. I guess it would be hard to work our way around the fact that he got shot to shit, though, if he was there. But I don't know. You would have worked around that. Maybe all you could have done to change that is Kylo go, I'm gonna go take this motherfucker on and not shoot at him. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I would like to.
And again, another little. Do you think you got him? Oh fuck! Shut up! Shut up!
Again, no one laughed at you, but again, no one laughed at that in my second screen, and it wasn't bad. It was fine because there wasn't like a laughing track after it.
It really was distracting. It really was.
Sorry, I should say about that bit.
Wait.
Just to pick out. Okay, you go first.
Are you gonna say about him brushing his shoulder off?
No. I'm gonna say about that first, and I'll say about what I was gonna say.
Him brushing his shoulder off. Yeah. There you are.
Again, not a backing track of laughter for me when I watched it the second time, so that wasn't as bad.
Honestly, even if no one had ever laughed, even if laughing didn't exist, that him brushing his shoulder off, hated it. I absolutely hated it. Doesn't
his feet, when he slides his feet, you see the red underneath? He's not really there, so why would the ground change?
Oh, yeah.
Unless he's creating that image, but then if he's creating that image... And how is he on a bit that isn't completely red because he just got shot to... Oh, fuck no. So I want to watch that again because I feel like there is probably some continuity poop up there.
Yeah.
The other thing I was going to say is, he gives Leia the gold dice and then Kylo gets the gold dice. Do you know what those gold dice are? Because I didn't realise.
No.
Those gold dice, they look different now. Those gold dice hung in the Millennium Falcon in the cockpit.
I was just going to say that.
In the original trilogy.
Yeah.
Back in the original trilogy, I think it went out and in and out and you didn't really see it. And it was using Force Awakens hanging up. And they just redesigned them a bit, made them look a bit more space style because the dots are different on them. But they're Han Solo's dice hung on the Millennium Falcon.
I was going to say, are they Han's?
Yeah. They're probably doing... I wonder if they're doing that now because they're going to come into the Han Solo film.
I wonder if they're doing that now because they're going to start selling those dice.
That makes more sense
because it's nearly Christmas,
but also
they're going to start selling them.
I wonder if you can get them. Yeah,
I bet you can.
I'll buy some. I'll be a sucker for that.
I was going to say they're really nice.
You're looking at them.
Yeah.
Yeah, I reckon they've also done it because Solo's getting his own film, so maybe they're doing it because they're
to tie it. Yeah.
Because
they were like, we're drowning here. Do us a favour. Can you just put these dice in?
They're also not just dice. They are the dice he used to win the Millennium Falcon. That was what I read.
Because
he won it off they mention it in. I'm pretty sure they mention it in Empire.
Yeah.
Where he says to Harrison, they mentioned about him winning it with those dice, so he hung them up as a monument of how he won the Millennium Falcon, which is quite nice. It's just a little thing.
You can buy those dice.
Saying about little things like the dice.
Yes.
You can. What, easy, or is it off like a dodgy?
No, they're easy.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Saying about little details like the dice.
Yeah.
It's the only little detail they paid attention to, really. Because, like I said, there was so much theorising about these characters because Snoke has a black crystal on his finger. Yeah. I'm pretty sure it isn't a kyber crystal now. I think it got confirmed. But everyone thought it was a kyber crystal for a lightsaber, a black saber. Didn't mention the ring on his finger. You barely saw it in the film.
Sorry, but have you seen... Somebody told me yesterday, and I forgot to look, that the working title for 9 is Star Wars, like, Black Crystal or something. It is.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I need to look that up, because I feel like they're having me on.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, go on.
And then Luke had a red kyber crystal around his neck.
Yeah.
Which is probably Vader's lightsaber. But they just don't mention it, and you don't see it enough, really. It's just a little thing, but that'd be nice if they'd mentioned something like that.
I don't know, I quite like that they didn't.
That one's fine, but the black if it was a black kyber crystal on Snoke...
really loud in my ear, sorry. Yeah.
That one, yeah, but if Snoke has a black kyber crystal on his finger... bigger things. The thing next to him that... Oh, pardon me. Everyone thought was, like, draining energy for his force powers. The thing next to him was like a machine. Wasn't mentioned, but it's in all the toys and it's mentioned. It's really weird they didn't mention that. It's just Rey looked through it at the ships.
Oh.
There's loads of little things in this that they just didn't bring up. There's also an interesting thing about Snoke still, and there's still theories going after he's dead. Because in the Jedi Temple that Rey and Luke are in, there is... I don't care if we're diverting now, just a little bit.
That's right.
There is the little circle on the ground. They said it's the image of the Prime Jedi. Yeah. And there's like the circle image in the temple.
Prime Jedi, that's it. Yeah. Sorry, I couldn't think of what they were calling that.
Yeah. That image really looks like Snoke. So there's phrase now that he's the Prime Jedi.
Oh, you said, yeah.
Because it's like it looks like his face and the crack on it. So that's interesting. But he's dead. Yes. That's the problem with him dying. We'll get to him. Snoke's on the list, don't you worry.
Sorry, but it's not Black Crystal. They've said it's Black Diamond.
fuck. That's a working title.
That sounds rubbish. It doesn't sound like. It doesn't even sound like a Star Wars.
No, I know, but this one was called. Han Solo one was called Red Cups in working title. I'm pretty sure.
What it was called? What?
Red Cups. Something like that, because the red cups that you drink, there's a story behind it. So do the original name for those red cups are like Solo cups or something.
Yeah, red
like
Solo
that.
cup.
Yeah.
Really?
So they called them red cups. It's not called that anymore. It was the working title to hide what it was.
Oh, because they're Solo cups.
Yeah.
Oh, I get it. Clever.
Yeah.
Why would it be Black Diamond?
I don't know. Because it's about a black diamond? I don't know. No idea.
Yeah.
Next character. We just said about Luke. That was the other thing, yeah. So scene with Yoda was great. The stuff with Kylo, and it showed the flashbacks of what happened when he destroyed the temple. I'm glad we saw a bit more of it, but we didn't see enough because all of Rey's visions.
Yeah.
So the Knights of Ren, I don't think they were there. I think that vision of them in the rain was somewhere else. I hope that vision with the Knights of Ren in the rain is in the next film. In terms of, that's one of the showdowns with Rey fighting the Knights of Ren.
I really hope so.
Although, Kylo's wearing his helmet. Kylo smashed up his helmet. It'd be weird if he comes back to having his helmet again.
Oh, yeah.
So maybe they've just completely scrapped that, which would be shitty, because they're an awesome idea.
Do you think he smashed it up there? Like, because, he said, he's wearing that stupid helmet.
Yeah.
I feel like now he's gone, maybe he'll get it back again.
He must have more, because he had what he took off when he killed Han Solo. And he surely didn't go back to pick that up, because he was in there.
Excuse me. Let's get that.
Yeah. Because he dropped. Did he drop it off the edge, or did he just put it down next to him?
He just dropped it on the floor, didn't he?
Yeah.
I remember.
But he didn't go back for that, surely.
That'd be embarrassing.
And the thing got destroyed, so yeah, he probably does have more than one. Anyway.
Yeah.
I should say about the stuff with the Jedi Temple.
Yeah.
It showed Luke when he went to kill Kylo. I'm glad about that. And I said to you though, I was like, it's bullshit. Luke fucked up. He did something, and he did. But then they kind of tried to play it off as, it's fine. He didn't do anything really. He just had a moment of. He had a temporary blip.
Yeah, and actually he tried to murder him.
Yeah. But then it didn't show any more than him pulling the temple down. It didn't show all the kids, and I would have liked to see more. So hopefully they show loads more in the last one.
I feel like they're gonna show
They've got
that.
to plan that, yeah, because that's the
if
whole reason it's all
then
started.
that's stupid, because I feel like everyone will want to see that.
Yeah, and because that is the making of Luke now, or who Luke was, and the making of Kylo now. Yeah. So it would have been great, because it sort of led to all of this quite a lot.
Yeah.
It led to the reason why it set up Force Awakens, because it's why Luke ran away.
Yeah.
That's enough for Luke anyway. Leia.
Mhm.
She's fine in this.
She's cool. Lovely, yeah. She's
nice.
Cool, yeah.
Her performance isn't amazing, but doesn't matter.
It's good. It's good. It's probably. I actually think she's better in this than Force Awakens.
Yeah, she definitely is. Some of her lines in Force Awakens.
It just seems.
She feels darker in this.
Yeah, she does, and it seemed a lot more comfortable.
Which makes more sense because she's just lost time.
I was gonna say, Han's gone, so I think, I think that was really good. It's funny, honestly. Some of the lines in this, I think I said to you already, it really felt like they knew she was.
Yeah.
Gonna die.
Because they made it all kind of like, and they played in the heartstrings.
Yeah, I think maybe they did. Yeah.
But then that was interesting, because obviously going from the start of her arc in this, that was shocking at the start. We thought she'd die and she got blasted out the window. We're like, oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That would have been actually quite
shocking, but I don't think they want to kill her on screen for the sin that she's actually dead in real life, Carrie Fisher. So I don't know if they want to do that.
Yeah.
And then it's very satisfying as a family thing to see her use the Force. I love that she uses the Force, because the books used to be about her having Force powers, and because she's a Skywalker and all that kind of stuff. So I love that. Would have made it a bit more subtle though. It was a bit much Supermaning through space.
Yeah.
It didn't look good. It looked kind of cheesy.
It was just
too much.
It was just the way she was so straight.
Yeah, she was like that, and I think it's the way that she's where she's in a long dress. You can't really see her legs. She just looked like a Disney princess.
Yeah.
Going through space,
I think you need to be able to see. That's why they always, when people are on strings and stuff, why they always bend a knee, because otherwise it looks crazy.
Yeah.
And your body looks like a plank.
They could have done something a little more like at the end of the film with the kid with the broom, just something really subtle. She could have gone out the window quite quick and then just gone, and then a cape. She just forces a cable and grabs it, or I know it wouldn't have the same effect. They're trying to make it look all magical, but it was a bit much.
Yeah.
It looked crazy. It didn't look believable. You couldn't sit with it straight away. You were like, what the?
No, and again, it didn't look Star Warsy, did it?
No, Crazy.
Because I think normally when people are using the Force, they're using it to move stuff, and it does that sort of like funny wobble first.
Yeah.
Well, most of the time anyway. And then it, but she just kind of went.
Yeah. It just it looked like she was a superhero. It was really strange. Other problem with her now, she was fine, but like I don't know if they're going to kill her off screen or she's just going to move away and have nothing to do with the Resistance, which I can't imagine how you make that make sense.
I don't know.
Although Luke and Han's both gone now, so you could be like, oh, she didn't want to be involved anymore. She's lost everyone.
Yeah.
So maybe something like that. I don't know. I don't know what's.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's interesting.
And I think, was the next one not meant to be more about Leia?
The idea was that each one of them died for each film, because the original trio was Han, Luke, and Leia.
Yeah.
So each one of them has their own film. So Han obviously died in the first, Luke died in the second. They were the focus of those two in that film, and it's the focus on her, and she was gonna. Yeah. I don't know if that's ever been the original plan. People to say that that's the plan.
People, I've read stuff where people have said that it was meant to be, but obviously they can't do that now, which is a shame. But they
can mention it, like make it a tribute to her.
Yeah, kind of I wonder how they're going to deal with that. I hope they find a good way of doing it.
Yeah, and
you've got to get just the right balance, because you don't want to not mention her at all, and you also don't want to make the whole thing geared towards trying to. Anyway, I'm sure they'll do it well.
Oh, I also found out that it wasn't her niece; it was her daughter. I'm pretty sure.
Oh, really?
Who's in this? She's rubbish. She isn't great, is she? She was on this a lot more than she was in Force Awakens, but not as much.
A lot.
Leia's dog's also in this. I don't know if you knew that.
Oh, really?
Yeah, someone's holding it and it looks like an alien. They've like CGI'd it to make it like an alien dog.
Oh my god, that's amazing.
Yeah, which is quite funny.
So I don't mind that. Honestly, she's in it so much, and she's like very obviously not an actress. If she is, I'm sorry, but she's rubbish.
Yeah, she is. Not great.
No.
Do you know what the saddest death in this is?
What?
Admiral Akbar.
Yeah.
The guy that played him actually died, I think, last year. But I think he was on the bridge when they all got sucked out. I don't know if they mentioned him.
They didn't. No, did they?
Background. Subtitles, please, in our next showing.
Oh, yeah. I love subtitles.
Best.
I learned so much more.
The best. Next character.
Next? Yeah.
I put Snoke and just put Sai. But this is the problem. And this is what I find with Snoke. I don't mind that. I already said I don't mind that they killed it off. But maybe they're going to do a book for him. Maybe they're going to do a book about his background, because you can't just not have anything interesting. And Rian Johnson spoke out about it, so they said, look, it doesn't matter about who he is. He was this big looming character, and the whole point of him dying was to show that Kylo was under no one's control, and that now he explained it all out for a good reason. But I want to know who Snoke was, because if I don't know who Snoke was, to me he is just a big character who looks like he should be in Lord of the Rings and Harry Potter. He looks like a paled-faced, mouldy fuck.
Like you say, not that, but like you said earlier, that could have been his face.
Yeah, but that'd be interesting.
So I think maybe I can't see them not mentioning him now.
Oh, you know what I could do?
What?
If he was the Prime Jedi, maybe they could be like...
It sounds so silly.
Prime
Jedi. Prime Jedi.
These are going to turn into Transformers films if they're not careful. The thing is, if he is, then it should be the realisation Rey should be like, fuck, this old manky pale fuck is the Prime Jedi. If he was that, then surely it's going to go to shit for all the Jedi. Because if the main Jedi, the strongest Jedi, became evil, Anakin became Vader, Luke went a bit fucking shifty there.
He did for a minute, they should just be like, to murder.
Then it should be about, look, there shouldn't be sides to this, and they should follow that up.
Maybe she's just like...
I've solved Star Wars.
Well, he was saying that the last Jedi, like the Jedi, it was time for them to die. Maybe because he knows they all go weird.
Yeah, all go weird.
That'd be great. Now if Rey started to turn and she was like, this is why he said it. And then she kills herself.
Because the draw of the dark side. Because they say about the weird butthole that they fall into.
Yeah. That was that thing.
Yeah, it was just like a weird... It was loads of dead fish.
It reminded me of Gears.
Well, the emergent holes.
Yeah.
Just reminded me of a butthole, to be honest.
What kind of... Anyway.
After
who's
Snoke,
next?
I have written Phasma.
Pointless.
Funny.
Completely pointless.
Still didn't get to take on the Here's her eye.
I am here I am, bye.
Do you know what's funny though? We still didn't see her fucking body, so she could still be alive.
Oh, if she's alive, I don't even care.
That's not true.
I don't care.
No, neither do I. It was funny how she literally came into it and got beaten by Finn, someone with barely any training, and she's someone who It was just a stupid way to die. She died because Rose was shooting her, so she turned around and focused on Rose, and then Finn was like, "Hey there!"
She like tripped and fell. And...
she fell into fire. I guarantee she's still not dead. No. I guarantee she's alive because that suit's kept her alive.
Yeah, I was going to say, I bet her armour is fireproof.
Even though her eye, it looked quite funny that they showed her eye, because like, oh, mysterious, even though everyone's seen her fucking
she's
face.
In Game of Thrones and everyone in the world knows who she is. Yeah, boring.
It's funny. It was funny that she died like that. I didn't like that line either, where she's like, scum, and he's like, rebel scum.
Yeah.
You're playing on like, the words rebel scum don't mean anything to people in this film. They mean stuff to people outside this film.
I was going to say, you know that we have heard that a million times and that doesn't mean anything to her. Yeah.
I mean, it's just,
completely. Yeah. I just repeated what you said.
Well, so, you're out of order.
Just copying you.
Next up, what are you going to do now?
What?
I don't know. You tell me. Porgs. I put them as a character. Mm-hmm. Okay, a bit too much.
Didn't
just
mind
to sell
them.
the toys.
Didn't mind them.
I didn't until the bit in the Falcon got a bit annoying with Chewie. when it does that on the yeah, it's all right. When he does that bit, it's fine. When he hits it off the dashboard, it looks weird.
Yeah.
And when it jumps back up on the dashboard, when it hits the window, it's like, stop playing the fucking jokes, the fucking Porgs. Just leave them.
The only bit I didn't like with the Porgs when it went up against the window.
And then watched Chewie wasn't in this Masses.
No, he wasn't.
Chewie had much of a part. Like, it doesn't many of them, but it just felt like he wasn't really there for this film. Maybe it's because he was on the island doing fuck all the whole time.
It's because he's alone now as well.
Yeah, but maybe it's because they should have had him stay with the Resistance as opposed to go off of Rey.
I think they probably should have. I think that would have made it feel more Star Warsy too if they were all together.
Yeah, felt odd having him on the island because he just ate Porg and watched Porgs watch him eat. That's true, but only have Chewie on this list. Hux, we've already said, was a fucking joke in this, which is a shame.
But still a good performance. I think he did really well with what he had.
I don't like that it is him though. I don't. It's weird. It didn't suit. It's weird having him in Star Wars to me because he's a recognisable face. Like they could have had someone who wasn't.
But I think he is to us, but I don't think many people know Donald Gleeson, really.
Yeah, I guess you're right.
I mean, he's in a lot. I mean, that's silly because I know he's in Harry Potter.
So.
Yeah, he did write Winnie the Pooh. Yeah, and he's really old. Okay. No, I know he's been in a lot, but I still don't feel like he's a face that everyone would be like, oh yeah, Donald Gleeson, I know him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't think.
No, I do.
Yeah, I know he was a Weasley, but.
He's wheezy.
I know he's wheezy.
Del Toro. Wasted.
That's why they did it. Weasley. We need someone Weasley. Oh, I know. Donald Gleeson. Sorry, go on.
That's the associations in their head.
Yeah.
That's something else. Del Toro. I can't remember what his name was in this film.
Such a disappointment.
Yeah, because his acting was fine. He was fine, but what a weird character to have him play.
We should have had Javier Bardem instead.
He'd be good. Oh, imagine him as a Darth, as a Sith.
He'd be amazing.
That voice.
I don't know why I get them confused.
Because they do look a bit similar.
But I don't think I get them confused. I don't know.
Del Toro's performance in Sicario is very similar to Javier Bardem's character in a lot of things.
Yeah, no, that's true. That's probably why.
And their hair's similar.
Yeah, I was just really looking forward to him being in this, and I just thought he was gonna.
Again, because of the theories that he could be someone interesting, they called him DJ, like Dark Jedi. Everyone was like, putting him as Dark Jedi and all this kind of stuff. Yeah. No, he was just a fucking weird.
I feel like whenever he's in something, he like totally takes over the screen, and you kind of can't not focus on him because he's normally so like kind of like withdrawn and like, a bit dark and a bit mysterious, and you're like, oh, and because he was playing this kind of really over the top character, I just don't think it suited his acting style at all. No. And it was just like that could have been someone else, and actually I think it would have been better if it was someone else. If that's the character that they had to have in it, I think it would have been better that they went with someone else.
Yeah,
I think just because they could get him, they obviously did.
I thought he was like a badass character. I thought in the picture they put up in the magazine, the first review of this film, he looked like, oh fuck, this guy's gonna be like a no tolerance.
Yeah, because but that's what you. No tolerance.
No tolerance.
No tolerance.
Del Toro.
No tolerance.
She's got Danny Dyer in the
I was just gonna say, it's like Danny Dyer's, what is it? Dangerous Man.
Danny Dyer's Star Wars. No tolerance. No porgs.
Oh, I wish he was. Yeah, I think it would have been better going with Danny Dyer for this.
Yeah.
To play all roles. All of it. Just have him do all of it. But yeah, no, I was gutted to be honest.
I like they didn't turn good in the end. It was strange, but because the last you see of him is when he sells. He's like, "Sorry, kid, it's just for money." And he says about there being there's never a side. It's just a machine.
When he's like, ain't my fault, it's just business. That bit.
Day, die business.
Die fucking business. Yeah, that bit.
Yeah, but then he just goes because he gives her the necklace back and says, it was the best metal to conduct this.
Yeah.
Last character,
Yeah.
we said a little bit about, was Holdo. Didn't mind her, she was great, she was fine. Her sacrifice was actually quite nice. She wasn't big enough, like she wasn't in a massive town, but I loved that shot, it was beautiful. And that's actually, to be fair, I liked her arc. I liked where she went with it.
I did too.
I like that she went, fuck this, whee!
Yeah.
Into Snoke ship, and that bit looked fucking gorgeous when she took it out.
Yeah. A lot of this did look. There is one character I would like to talk about.
Who?
We've not talked about.
Who?
It's more who was not there. The absence of Han, and I really feel like I could feel it.
What? He wasn't there?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I think his sort of nonchalant sarcasticness, I think, is a real key element of Star Wars. I think it missed it. I really do. You don't have anyone like that now. That kind of like
Luke
reckless kind of. Yeah, but I feel like maybe they tried to have him go that way a little bit like it, but no, I don't think you can't. And I like, we're at the risk of sounding like you can't replace Harrison Ford. I just don't think you can. He's too.
I found it weird they kept saying to Kylie, "You've got your dad in you," because he's nothing like Han.
No, he's nothing.
And Han wasn't ever like Han was ever a straight. I'm the good guy.
No, never. And I think you really miss that kind of that sarcastic humour. That's the good Star Wars humour. That kind of like sarky dark wit. I think it misses it, and
I agree.
And there's no one in it now that you go, ha, yeah. Like, do you know what I mean? He would say lines and it would be like, oh.
Yeah.
And I
get what you mean.
I think it was felt and it was surprising. I was trying to work out what it was.
Yeah. But then Luke done this. They did kill Luke off. It just didn't feel impactful.
No.
Like, in the same way. I don't know why. I think it's just the way he disappeared.
But I mean, he sort of just flitted off.
Kind of like, what happened?
Yeah, Han was murdered and it was by his son and everyone was watching. So I think that gave it like a massive element of surprise. But I don't know. I didn't
I think it's because Luke's coming back as well. It's not as much shocking. He's coming back as a Force ghost, definitely. He even says to Kylo, "See you around, kid."
Yeah.
Some of his stuff I didn't mind the cheeks. I didn't like some of the stuff he said, but the like I said to you after, when he winks at C-3PO, I love the wink. It just feels like such a character because that's what he feels like in Return of the Jedi.
Yeah.
Like with the droids, he feels kind of like joking with them.
That's his character, not chucking a lightsaber over his shoulder.
That's too jokey for me. But I like that he was darker. I did like him in this.
Yeah.
I like that he was dark, and then he had lights to him. Like it felt like him when he was talking to Yoda. It felt like him growing up when he was talking to 3PO. When he winks at 3PO. Yeah. When he saw R2-D2 again, it felt like him.
Yeah.
Although he says you're my only friend, but I call that bollocks because he's not his only friend. So it's kind of weird that he said that.
Yeah.
I've also written universe. I was going to say about the ships, the creatures, and the costumes. Praetorian Guards, I really like them. They look fucking awesome. Other than they got beaten up by Rey, who apparently is no one. So impressive that they can just.
Oh, I was going to say as well. Actually, if you haven't written it down, just addressing about her parents a little bit.
Yeah, I would talk about. Actually, I haven't written that down. For some reason.
I know a lot of people have been like, oh, that was something. Because obviously everything, like you said before, everything that was set up kind of got like pushed to the wayside and now it's kind of over, even though it spent a whole film setting it all up. That actually, I feel like whatever way they did it, people were going to be unhappy either way because some people wanted her parents to be someone and loads of people didn't want her parents to be someone. But I think the way that they did it was really good actually. I kind of like that it was a little bit throwaway and that she kind of, how he made it out like she's always known that. Like it wasn't really a mystery and she kind of knew she wasn't waiting for anybody to come back and then he was like, well, I know it, you know it too, like just say it. I think they did that. I think that was great.
But then they need to find a way to explain why Ben Kenobi says Rey when she's dreaming all those bits because that doesn't.
Yeah.
Like it would have been nice. Oh, you could have done. You could have done it. Like what would have been nice as well. You saw her parents being nobody.
Yeah.
It would have been quite interesting if you'd gone. You're related to Ben Kenobi. What does it mean? It means nothing. He's dead. Yeah. There's no.
Yeah.
Because I think the thing of saying is she's a Skywalker, that's too much for me. But saying she's related to Ben Kenobi is just a nice little, he had lines. Because I love Obi-Wan. It'd be nice to have, like, this is his generation passed down.
Yeah.
She didn't need to be called Kenobi. She could have just been related, and then they could have been like, no, it doesn't matter if you're related. He could have just, and he could be lying anyway. JJ could just go back over that.
The only thing I was going to say is that real? Is that you know?
Because JJ could completely go, nope, I'm going back. Because he's left the door open for JJ to go over that. Like, he's gone over JJ's stuff.
I did think as well at the time when he said it, I was thinking, I love the way that they've done that. And
without the laughter.
Yeah. And it's also good because it's like there was nothing defining about it. It was just him saying it and her going, no, I know, I did know, like I have always known that. But equally, it could not even.
Did you like the weird
in my
bits
notes? It is
before
not.
stuff
Might not be real. What?
With her when she was saying who my parents are, and she had loads of her in a line and all that kind of stuff.
No.
Didn't you like it?
No.
I like the shot of her all going like.
Oh,
clicking.
I love that.
Yeah,
no, that's a lie. Bits. Actually, that's a complete lie. Yeah, when I first, I'm just like reliving it. When I first saw all of her in a row, I hated it, but then as soon as she started to make noise, I really liked it.
Yeah, it was an interesting way to do it. It's interesting stuff that makes the Force a bit more interesting.
And actually, I expected when she started talking, I was like, oh no, I don't want her to start like narrating this. But actually, like the third line in, I was like, oh, actually no.
It was interesting how they did it. They never do stuff like that in Star Wars.
No, they don't. And also, actually, she sounded more comfortable. Like her voice sounded less.
She sounded a bit more
stilted.
Experienced.
Yeah.
I know what you mean. It was interesting.
I liked.
I don't always think it's her fault. I think it's the line she's given sometimes. Like I said, by saying, "Did you turn him into Kylo Ren?" And stuff like that. Just
because she's not saying them in a bad way. It's just her accent, and you can't.
And the line, anyone saying, "Did you change him into Kylo Ren?" is a shit line. Talking about the universe. Then I was just gonna say about the Praetorian Guards were awesome design. Like I really like their design. I like this whole like red aesthetic. It's gorgeous.
They're amazing. I really like them.
I like that they carried on fighting after Snoke fell. They still were taking them on, and like they didn't just give up. I would like to see if they had faces or what they were. That'd be interesting, but
they can save that though. If they do that in the third film, that'd be cool.
The caretakers. What do you think of the caretakers? They're fucking stupid. The ones on the island, living on the Last Jedi island, a bit odd. They didn't go into enough detail with them to even have them in there. The ones that look like nuns.
Oh God, no!
Hated weird.
Those. I hated those because I felt like it was trying to be like, remember the old Star Wars? That's what. No, I didn't like them at all. Can I just also say about their weapons?
Yes. The Praetorian Guards weapons
were amazing.
Really weird. Like it looks really like that looked fucking awesome. So it looked terrifying when he was like when he had Rey and was like pulling her towards him, where like clicking, like clack. I can't explain. Like it wasn't just like winding it.
No, it was horrible.
Like, clacking his things.
It reminded me of like in horror films where like people get possessed and their bones start like cracking. It reminded me of that. Again though,
it's the way it was moving. It had very good movements. Like what they did, the way it was pulling it towards her.
I didn't feel. They didn't feel crazy Star Warsy to me, and I don't know why.
They did to me because they looked like the Emperor's Guards, which were all red before. If you remember the ones that looked more like they were wearing a dress.
Oh yeah.
They were like that. They were the most like highest level guards, but you never saw those fight in the original. So I think you just saw them go, "Whoa!" But in this, you actually saw them fight. I love
them though. I don't really care if they feel.
I like you can actually get a sense of the costumes and what they're made of in this, in terms of, and you can Force Awakens when their lightsaber goes into them. Yeah. They crack and they smash, and they look like this kind of thin plastic. Yeah. Like they're probably quite strong, but I mean they look like plastic. So when they snap, you like, that was loud. Sorry.
Oh my ears.
They're like kind of like when you see like when Finn puts the lightsaber through a stormtrooper in Force Awakens. Like you see like the armor break, and it's like in this, like it's really nice to see the armor break, and you see their armor just go.
Yeah, really I think that's something that they're like able to do more and more now, because before like you can't. I don't know. I think it's just
effects as well.
I can't think of the word I'm trying to say.
God knows.
Just as we progress in film, I can't think what I'm trying to say.
What do you think of the speed of things?
What?
That got trash with no guns in. They look quite cool.
Oh when they had the thing I like them. Yeah.
I liked that they had the thing on the bottom of them that opens and it glides on the ground. Yeah. Except for the fact that she told Finn to do it, like they wouldn't have talked that out before. Yeah. She's like, put down your whatever she calls it, toggle something. I'm pretty sure she said, put the toggle thing down before, otherwise you won't. But like, you're just saying it for the screen. If you didn't need to show him putting it down to show that it didn't wobble. You could have had him. I was confused where they came from. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they came from above the. If they came from, I'm pretty sure they fell off the cliff. Above the massive. If they did,
climb up there,
how did they get up there? Because the door was.
Oh, I know.
I'm pretty sure the door
up there.
had they shut the they had shut the door at the time.
Yeah.
Because Finn come in and they shut the door. So how the fuck did they get up there if they were up there?
Secret entrance, secret stairway. I said stairway.
But they were looking for another entrance, so maybe they've royally fucked up there. I don't know.
Maybe the crystal critters took them to it because they knew a secret way.
But they couldn't have because they were looking for another way out.
I was joking.
Well, you're a poo.
I just wanted to say crystal critters.
New AT-ATs.
Yeah.
80s. What did you think of the ones with giant? They look like being hit in the gym.
Boom. Yeah. I quite like the design of everything in this film, actually, apart from that stupid casino plan.
Yeah.
What did you think?
They looked alright. They looked quite funny when they showed Luke walking out and you saw their full arms. They looked like fucking apes.
Yeah.
I'm also pretty sure there's a shot where you can see Snoke and Hux in one of the helmets, in one of the heads of them, of the AT-ATs, and it makes no sense because you see the head and then all around its sky. I was like, where's its body?
Oh.
There's a shot that didn't look right. TIE Silencer's pretty fucking awesome, which is Kylo's ship.
Yeah.
That's pretty much all I was going to say about the universe. Other than, there was something else I was going to say, as counting the Force as a character, what did you think of the way the Force was used in this?
It was okay. I just, now I feel like I'm a bit confused about it again.
Why?
In that, like, I feel like...
Scott just dropped off.
Oh, sorry, I've got the Force. I don't know, because now I feel like, I don't know, it feels a bit pick and choosy.
What do you mean pick and... Well, with the kid, it's always been like that, though, hasn't it?
Not so much who can use it, but like how powerful it is at certain times.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get what you mean. I like some of the new stuff.
I guess
like
that's the
Snoke
thing with it,
lightning.
though, is that it's meant to be... It's a Force, so it's not like a set of rules. It's just, I guess...
I'm going to tail on to this with... before I tail on, because I can make two things out of this, but I'm going to say about the cinematography, all the red's beautiful. We've said about all the sand getting kicked up and all that stuff. It's gorgeous. It's probably the most stunning looking Star Wars film in terms of cinematography.
Do you know what? I definitely think it is, yeah.
Yeah, it looks fucking gorgeous. Going back to the Force then.
Yeah.
I liked Snoke using the lightning, like where he hits the ground with it and it knocks out Kylo. When he grabs Rey looks awesome. All this kind of like... What's the bit when someone... Does he drag Hux? Who gets whacked into the ground by the chin? Oh, it's Snoke from a distance to Hux. He drags him on the ground. He like slams him on the floor and drags him.
Oh yeah.
That's fucking awesome. All that kind of stuff I love because it reminds me of Vader.
Yeah.
Not sure about Leia's stuff. I liked all the Force Vision stuff because it was really weird and quirky and it felt strange, which is cool because it makes the Force feel more like it has its own character.
Yeah, I did like that.
The Force Vision of Luke I said I wasn't sure about because it was... Like I know that was using a lot of his power and ended up killing him, but like it was a bit strange. I mean, the Force was used a lot more in this. And I liked how it was used. All the kind of grabbing and throwing and shit was cool. And then Rey with the rocks was fine as well.
Yeah, that was fine. That kind of felt just normal Force stuff. I did really like that it killed Luke.
Yeah, I'm glad it killed him. I'm just saying, I'm not sure if I like that he did a vision rather than him just being there to confront Kylo in person.
Yeah, I still can't decide on that.
Yeah.
Really not sure.
Maybe if you watch it again.
Yeah.
Moving on from the Force.
Maybe if you bother.
Maybe if you bother to
watch it a second time.
Moving on from that, last thing I want to say about that. Have you got anything else to say about this? Because I was going to end on this.
No, I don't think so.
I think we've been going for well over an hour now.
Yeah.
The thing with the Force, this film makes a real point of saying anyone is special.
Yeah.
And the way it ends with this kid who is working the casino, getting treated like shit, has the Force. And the idea is, we've got Jedi to probably start again. And there's a whole like monologuing of anyone who has the Force, the resistance will be made again because we'll find people, like the Jedi will rise again. All this kind of stuff. Anyone can be special, it doesn't matter. And this is the whole thing about Rey's parents being nobodies, is anyone could have this kind of power.
Yeah.
Which is, I guess it's a nice message for kids as well. It's like the idea that everyone is special
and
everyone can have the same abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That message is fine, but it contradicts that because they say Yoda says to Luke, we can't let Rey go to the dark side. We can't lose Rey because she's special. And they make a whole thing about Rey being crazy powerful.
Yeah.
That doesn't work if you're saying everyone is special. They contradict themselves by saying, he said, I saw this raw power once before with Kylo, I can't have it again. So these two are special people. They have these crazy powers that no one else does.
But is it not just saying that she has it more?
No, I think they're saying, because Yoda says to her, to Luke, you can't lose her because we need her. We can't lose her because she's so powerful. But if anyone could be that powerful, it wouldn't matter so much if you lost her. But the last film as well made a point of her being crazy powerful, didn't it?
But that's what I'm saying. Is it not that she just has it more?
But why would... Well, no, but then she's special then if she has it more.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying, but they're making a point that everyone is special and has this ability. She's a nobody everyone else.
But I think they're saying like anyone can has the Force, but maybe just not anywhere near as powerfully as she does.
But it doesn't really work as a message then, because she's still special. This is what I'm saying. They were trying to make a point that everyone's special and is the same.
Oh right, yeah.
Like it's special in their own way, but it's the same.
Yeah.
But then she is still a special one.
Yeah.
As is Kylo, because they've both got a lot more power. Which is what I'm saying. They're kind of like they're conflicting messages.
Yeah. I see.
Which is strange.
Yeah.
I'm all done.
Yeah, I think I'm done.
What is it time for then?
Doors.
That was horrendous.
How rude is that? I've been working on that all week.
Yeah, there's none this week. We don't really have time for any anyway, and there's not much to talk about. All we're talking about is the one big bit of news, and it's to do with Star Wars, because Disney now owns
taken over half the world.
They now own 20th Century Fox, essentially. They own a lot of their assets, so they have all the film rights, a lot of the TV rights, most of their stuff, which means they now own everything now. They're an empire, even more.
Disney scares me. I'm not gonna lie about that.
So they now own all the X-Men rights, Fantastic Four, Deadpool, all that will now be under Disney's control.
Gutted.
Which could be alright, which could be shit. I'm not too excited for
Deadpool's gonna
this.
Be shite.
Because you've lost the whole film industry to work under now. To people who want to make their own films. That's the only bit of news.
Yeah.
You would have seen it everywhere anyway, because it's crazy, like the kind of things they can do with it. And we should probably end there, because we've completely... Yeah.
Time has stood still for a long time.
Yeah. Alright. We have 1 week left of this season 1, series 1.
Season 1 of what are we calling this?
Oh, I went back to the original theme. It's cute. Yeah, for the last one, possibly going to film it.
Possibly.
What we're doing.
We'll have to wait and see.
Film
and you
awards.
will see our faces. Who are we? You don't know. Yeah, you know.
You know.
You can find us on all the normal channels.
That's not really professional if you said channels.
Tell we're winding down, can't you?
Yeah.
Winding down.
What are we calling this on YouTube for the podcast? Wide-eyed runners. I'm not going to say the spaces because you don't need them. You can find them yourself. This is attached to this podcast. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, iTunes. Find us, or we'll find you.
Yeah.